All right, everyone, we're now joined by Dynamo head coach Ben Olsen. I'll go ahead and kick things off. If you guys have a question for Ben, please use the raise my hand option. Ben, quick turnaround this one against a familiar opponent given that we just played a few days ago. How's the team what's the energy like first around the group now as you guys return to league play?
We're focused. We're pleased with the result the other night, but we understand where we're at. And, in order for us to be in the postseason, this is another important game to kind of stay in the hunt. And so, again, it was a good performance, but we'll need a better one here to return and get something out of this match. It's always tricky when you play a team back to back, in particular with the 2 days in between. They have a little luxury that they didn't have one on the front end, and so we're kind of adding up some significant minutes for some guys. So it's been a puzzle on getting a group together, but I think we'll be able to put together a good group that is capable of getting something there.
Thank you for that. We'll start with Dustin. Dustin, go ahead.
Hey, Ben.
Hi.
Hey, how do you kind of manage the highs of, Wednesday night, fancy the Champions Cup and all that, and getting back to league play where you guys are still very much fighting to make the playoffs?
Well, I think you could just flash the standings up to our group, and they see it. They understand it. We've had chats before that, before the Portland game, and how dire every moment is from here on out. We just don't have the luxury of taking the foot off the gas, and so it's been sung. We certainly have been speaking about it. That's one part of it, but then it's emotional. You win a game like that, it's an emotional moment for the group. But this is our jobs to reset and refocus. And to be fair, in the locker room, they were excited and they understood that, but it was also quickly out of sight because of, I think, hopefully that we all understand that we're right on the line. And there's about 3, 4, 5 other teams right on the line, whether it's below or right above us, and it's snug. And we just don't have the luxury to do it.
And you mentioned it a little bit. You guys, a lot of fixtures piling up here. Now this one 3 days after Wednesday. How do you kind of juggle that? And do you see substantial changes coming tomorrow?
Well, you go through it, and there's individuals that you have history with, and can go back to back, and then you have some that can go back to back to back. You have some that can't, and you kind of have that history with these players, and there's enough science behind it to make as calculated decisions on who can go, but freshening up the lineup is important, and we've got some guys that are hungry to show that they belong on that kind of quote unquote starting group. So that it's a little dance, it's a little puzzle, but it's one that we've been doing all season because of the nature of the schedule. It's been so compact, more compact probably than any schedule I've ever dealt with, probably in the league history, because of the month that they couldn't have MLS games and the front end, back end of the league's cup. It's been tight.
Thanks, Ben. Safe travels.
Thank you.
Joey, go ahead.
Hey, Ben. What are some of the difficulties in playing the same team 2 games in a row?
Well, I think it depends, on how quickly you play them. If it's a Saturday, I think it poses some different issues. If you're playing them quickly like this, I'm assuming they'll freshen up some things as well. 2 days recovery is a lot, and it wasn't just a 90-minute game. It was 130 with extra time. It just kept going, right? 120, 130. It's a long time for these players to be on their feet, and so you're preparing for you're preparing for themes, right? You're preparing on what they do, and doubling down on kind of the meetings beforehand on with your preparations, strengths, weaknesses, where we think we can exploit them, where we think we're vulnerable, but understanding that they may change some players, and so the profiles may look a little bit different, but the principles of what they do and the principles of what we do are the same. And you have the luxury of showing film that in of what we just played, who we just played, and against them right away. Here's some of the things where areas we got caught. Here's sometimes when you see them in real time, it's a little bit different than what you scouted, and maybe you pick up something else that you see that they're doing now, some wrinkles. So it's difficulties, but again, in some ways, you're preparing for the same teams and the same principles.
And we didn't see Sebastian Kowalczyk involved at all in the Open Cup game. Will he be involved this time?
Let me say. It was 18. When you go to the Open Cup, you dress 18, and with the league play, it's 20. And Sebastian's new, so he's not fully as well versed in some of the other guys in a cup game in certain moments. So unfortunately, he was out of that 18, which again wasn't a lot of fun because he's going to be a part of this. It was just maybe a little early to use him in a game like that in certain scenarios where he'll have 18, and but he'll travel. I'll give you that. How about that? He'll be part of the 20.
And some of the depth guys, if you're going to rotate the squad a little bit, what are some of the guys you're going to look to get some more minutes?
Hey, what do you want me to say, man? I just said this. I can give you the lineup.
But give us the lineup, Ben.
We're playing the same team. We're going to throw out the same team.
All right, thanks, Ben.
Rudy, go ahead.
I don't know. I did two little hand raise, but hey, Ben. Obviously you kind of went through this with LAFC, right? You played at home and then you flew away. Similar instance here against RSL, but it ended up a little bumpy towards the end. A guy got red carded for them, and he's probably gonna see, be lined up or at least get some playing time against you guys. Do you expect? I mean, I know that players are professional, but do you expect anything in particular when it comes to the atmosphere of that match?
Yeah, I don't know if Vera. He may be suspended. He got a yellow card in his last MLS game, right? And then the LA game was canceled. So I don't know. We're checking into that to the point of Vera. Was that your question?
Yeah, that was my question. I didn't realize the other one canceled out, but
I don't know. Who knows? With the league, they could just figure out that maybe they'll suspend him on the next one. I have no idea.
and I guess just last one for me. Obviously the finishing was a little frustrating midweek, being such a short span. Is that something that you maybe emphasize at training with some of the players that were struggling?
We scored 5 goals 3 days earlier, and we scored 2 goals in this game. So that's a lot of goals for us. There's individuals that we're always looking to clean up some of the final stuff, but that's not how soccer goes. It's some days it's a little tougher to hit the net, and certain guys. You guys talk about Ibrahim. We'd love to get him some more goals. The good news is he gets himself in some wonderful spots. He's always in the right spot and does so many little things in the right way for us defensively, and pushing lines back, running in behind, repeating his movements, and giving us an outlet. He does so much good. The way his defensive pressure and the way he shapes the game. And we just, we're all rooting for him. We're all wanting him to get clean touches in that final third and some confidence. But it'll come. It always does with a forward. And but other than that, yeah, we had a couple other chances. They're gritty. They pulled a couple off the line and blocks and things like that. And that's the personality of Salt Lake and what Pablo brings to that team. It's a very, very tough team to go against and a tough team to score against. So it doesn't surprise me that it wasn't a high scoring affair. But we're doing okay right now with scoring goals.
Thanks, Coach. Best of luck tomorrow.
Thanks.
All right, guys, we'll wrap up with that one. We'll have media resources later today.
Thanks, Edgar.